49ers fans, take a deep breath. Tonight smells like a turning point. Tension and decisions everywhere. We've got an unexpected market target. A possible shakeup at quarterback, signs the ground game could finally click, and a rookie under the microscope getting a direct message from the staff. There are numbers that scare, whispers that excite, and a deadline that doesn't forgive. You won't believe what we've got today. So settle in, drop a like, and let's dive straight into the news. But tell me this, what's your biggest concern right now? Faithful, brace yourselves because the first bombshell hits the heart of the defense. Since Nick Bosa's injury, the pass rush has fallen off a cliff. There was even a game with 0 QB hits, something Kyle Shanahan admitted made for an immediate tactical headache. That's why one name has started bubbling up backstage, Bradley Chubb, currently in Miami, but potentially the finisher this rotation desperately needs until Bosa returns. Just picturing how he'd fit into Chris Kokorek's wide nine makes any 49ers fan's hair stand on end. Here's why this isn't wishful thinking. First, Chubb's deal was reworked in March, trimming the short-term cap hit and making a contender move easier to absorb. Roster. Second, the Dolphins added Matthew Judon in August, creating surplus on the edge. If their season wobbles heading into the November 4 trade deadline, it's plausible they pick up the phone to convert that depth into draft capital. From the Santa Clara side, John Lynch has already conceded you can't replace Bosa, but that external options are on the table. When a GM says that out loud, you can be sure phone calls are happening. Numbers. Add in that the 49ers project to have close to $24 million in 2025 cap space, and the math supports absorbing Chubb without mental gymnastics. Of course, there are risks. The medical file matters. A serious knee injury in 2023, 2024 wiped out, and the need to manage usage so he's not overloaded. The good news is that San Francisco would do exactly that, lead the room, but not carry 100% of the snaps. He'd be the closer in the fourth quarter, sealing wins while the rotation handles the grind. As for price, the 2022 Denver Miami deal set a high bar, but context has changed. Coming off injury and not at peak, the ask likely drops to something like a second rounder plus a conditional, or a third plus a player. It's still expensive, but squarely in range for a team that's all in. Bottom line, there's no confirmation of active negotiations, but the market signals line up. A glaring pass rush need, a tight deadline, and a Dolphins context that could invite calls make this rumor grow legs. And if it happens, imagine Chubb and Bosa side by side when number 97 is back. That's a nightmare for any offensive line in the league. Faithful, hold on. This next turn gets even more explosive. Signs point to Mac Jones starting Thursday against the Rams, not Brock Purdy. Before you assume disaster, breathe. There are real positives that could flip the narrative. Adam Juszczyk are Purdue-ed. Purdy felt renewed soreness in that turf toe area after the loss to the Jaguars, didn't practice Tuesday while Jones was a full participant. It's a blow to the original plan, no doubt, but it also opens a door to rethinking Kyle Shanahan's attack. First, time to throw. Purdy has been holding the ball too long, hunting chunk plays when he needs to hit the outlet. Jones has been more disciplined, 2.77 seconds to release versus Purdy's 3.04. That difference decides whether pressure gets home. How many times have we seen Purdy extend a read and pay for it with sacks or forced throws? Jones showed he can keep the offense on schedule, quick rhythm, without getting lost in the chaos. That's not a cold stat. It's the difference between sustaining drives and gifting short fields. Then, arm talent. Believe it or not, Jones brings something Purdy hasn't consistently delivered. He may not be elite, but he can drive the football. That forces safeties to respect the deep third and opens the intermediate routes Shanahan loves. Purdy relies heavily on anticipation. If the timing isn't perfect, receivers have to work back to the ball, and the play loses its punch. Jones, with more velocity, shortens defenders' reaction windows and gives his targets the edge. Does that mean Purdy is done? No. It's a clear warning shot, though. Through 2024, he got it out fast. Since then, he's pressed, trying to be the hero on every down. The result? Constant pressure, turnovers, stalled drives. Shanahan needs him to rediscover that pragmatic, efficient version, because if the stubborn streak continues, Jones could carve out more runway than anyone expected. And let's be real, the locker room notices. Players feel who keeps the offense moving and who gums up the works. For Thursday against the Rams, the question is whether Jones's experience can stabilize things. It's a short-week division game, every detail magnified. The offense has to function briskly, no wasted motion on that axis. Jones looks more ready, but if the Rams sniff out limited mobility, they'll squeeze the pocket and test his ability to hang in. We're at a strategic crossroads. Shanahan can use Jones to buy time and reset the offense, while Purdy heals, or he risks igniting a louder debate among the faithful about who should start. If Jones steps in and steers a solid win over the Rams, do we really think that noise won't explode in San Francisco? And that's not even the most surprising part of the day. Now for the grind that might decide everything. Facing the Rams on a short week would be tough on its own, but the injury stack makes it downright brutal. If there's one lever that can swing this matchup, it's the run game. So far, the truth is the 49ers haven't imposed their will on the ground. 4 games in, the run blocking hasn't been where it needs to be, but there's a crack in the door big enough to change the narrative and maybe salvage this phase of the season. The numbers don't lie. The Rams are the league's second worst defense at stuffing runs at or behind the line. Only the Panthers are worse. On the other side, the 49ers rank among the 4 worst offenses in getting stuffed. Classic something's gotta give. If there's a time for Christian McCaffrey and the OL to punch back, it's now. If the trenches click, McCaffrey will see more chances at the second level. Then comes the question some have tiptoed around. Does he still have that cut and burst to rip off 10-yard gains? So far, just 5 explosive runs this season. That's light for a player who's supposed to be the offense's heartbeat. The raw data has his success rate around league average, but McCaffrey isn't average. He's a star. Thursday is the chance to prove the shine hasn't dulled. This won't be easy. The Rams may be soft at first contact, but they rally well once a back breaks the line. Top 10 in rushing yards allowed per game. Nearly top 10 at limiting runs of 10+. Translation: the lanes will exist, but McCaffrey has to beat quick tackles to turn creases into damage, and all of this comes after a heavy Sunday workload. Short weeks magnify fatigue. This duel is more than spreadsheets. It's physical. It's psychological. The Rams also come off a grinder, which equalizes intensity. The difference could be identity, asserted early. Historically, the 49ers have owned this divisional matchup on the ground through sheer physicality. If Shanahan and the OL can't reimpose that style, it becomes a red siren that the ground game may never truly click in 2025. And if McCaffrey shows fatigue, Shanahan must get bolder, more rotation, creative surface changes in the blocking, spreading the load to keep the offense balanced. Stick with the recent pattern and the Rams' defense could find a rhythm and choke off what should be the foundation of this attack. Thursday isn't just another game. It's a trial by fire for the rushing blueprint. If the OL opens lanes and McCaffrey punishes, San Francisco can control possession and tempo. If not, the doubt will swell like never before. Is this still a team that commands respect on the ground? And while we chew on that, an unexpected rookie plotline is stirring behind the scenes. Time to address one of the season's most intriguing stories, the 49ers rookie class. 11 picks and surprisingly, 6 are already contributing at a steady clip. That's an excellent hit rate for any franchise, but within that crop, one name stands out not for what he's done, but for what he hasn't. Linebacker Nick Martin, drafted with the idea of being a rotational piece, maybe even a Dre Greenlaw's successor. He hasn't carved out a real defensive role yet. The message from the staff is blunt. Robert Sale was transparent about Martin's immediate path to see the field. He needs to dominate on special teams first. When a coach says that, it usually means intensity, discipline, and especially tackling consistency still have a ways to go. Fans expected more. In camp, Martin struggled. Early preseason, he looked lost, though he improved week by week. Just not enough to leapfrog Winters, who seized the job and is playing at a high level. That leaves Martin in a bind. He's not part of the base rotation. He's not viewed as trustworthy for critical snaps yet. And per Sale, veterans on special teams, guys like Giff and Curtis, are delivering more value. Translation: he hasn't proved he can win even the small battles that earn runway. It's a reality check for a rookie some hoped would contribute right away. Not all of it is negative. Sale also emphasized Martin's work ethic, saying he needs reps and experience to grow. The message is clear: it isn't about professionalism, it's about impact. Right now, he looks more like a long-term project than an immediate answer. And in a year where multiple rookies are already above expectations like Winters, the scrutiny on Martin intensifies. The fan base, as always, pulls no punches. Some question the evaluation that led to the pick. Was it a miss or a scheme fit issue? Others preach patience. Linebacker play demands processing, discipline, and physicality, 3 traits that rarely peak overnight. What feels inevitable is that 2025 becomes a quiet development year for Martin. A lead role seems unlikely, and defensive snaps might be scarce. The mission is simple: earn it on teams. Show urgency on every tackle and every return snap. In the NFL, promise is nice. Impact is the currency. In the end, Martin's story is a reminder. Not every rookie becomes an instant sensation. Some flash early, others need time. But in a hyper-competitive San Francisco window built to win now, the margin for error and delay is razor thin. It's on Martin to decide whether he's just a name on the depth chart or a cog in a machine built to lift a trophy. And while we wrestle with that, one question lingers. If rookies are getting this kind of pressure, what does that say about the responsibility the veterans must shoulder from here on out? 49ers family, what a night. Between the hot Bradley Chubb rumor, the possibility of Mac Jones starting, the chance to unlock the ground game against the Rams, and the challenge thrown at Nick Martin, the message is clear: the window is open, but it demands an immediate response. If Chubb arrives, the defense gets closer. If Jones speeds up the reads, the offense breathes. If the OL paves the way, McCaffrey rewrites the script. And the rookies define the depth that carries you in December. Now I want to hear you. What's the priority? Like the video, drop a comment, share it with the Niner faithful, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter.